Thanks, Ben. The headlines in the southeast today. It's a miracle. A couple from Sevenoaks described the life-changing impact of a new dementia drug.
Every day that David's still able to do those things, we're convinced is down to the fact that we've been lucky enough to be on the trial.
Yeah.
As the South of England show gets underway, we investigate the impact of rising farming costs. We're live at the Ardingly Showground on the opening day.
And it's going to be a hot and humid weekend. Most of us will stay dry and sunny. A few will have some thunderstorms.
Good afternoon. A couple from Sevenoaks have described an experimental new drug for dementia patients as a miracle. David Essam first experienced Alzheimer's symptoms 8 years ago and volunteered for a clinical trial of lecanemab. It's been hailed as the first drug to slow the destruction of the brain caused by Alzheimer's. And 3 years on from the start of the trial, David and his wife have been telling our health correspondent Mark Norman how it's going.
So all of my family are in New Zealand. Yeah. I don't have anybody in the UK.
David and Cheryl live with the consequences of his diagnosis of Alzheimer's. But not wanting to give in to the disease, 3 years ago they joined a clinical trial for a new drug, lecanemab. Experts believe it has the potential to become a game changer in the treatment of Alzheimer's and has given this couple some hope.
We've been on the trial for 3 years and there has been deterioration. We couldn't judge what the average deterioration would be, so we have no expertise. But Recognition Health, who are running the trial, have told us that David's been on the trial, on the drug, the real thing, for 3 years, and they can prove that the amyloid has reduced.
David has a regular infusion of lecanemab. It's actually the second new drug to show promise in clinical trials.
As normal, if you just lift your arm up there for me.
Alzheimer's research have described the findings as momentous.
These are the first drugs of a generation, if you like, that will, we hope, make a real difference to people, because they will, for the first time, slow down the underlying disease in the brain of someone with Alzheimer's and give people longer and better quality of life.
I do obviously wish that I wouldn't be in this situation, obviously, you know. There are lots of things that I used to be able to do and now I can't do. You know, that's what I miss most of all.
And the drug has helped us. That's given that has extended our life. It gave us hope, and also every day that David's still able to do those things, we're convinced is down to the fact that we've been lucky enough to be on the trial. Yeah. And that is a miracle.
A miracle perhaps, but the NHS has yet to approve the drugs, a process that will take a few years. But the need is great, with experts predicting almost 150 million people globally living with Alzheimer's by 2050. Mark Norman, BBC South East Today, Sevenoaks.
A man from Eastbourne has been jailed for 7 years for conning his former partner out of £70,000 in a so-called romance fraud. Andrew Camfield made false promises to manipulate and exploit his victim, who borrowed money from family and friends to satisfy his financial demands. An artwork by the elusive street artist Banksy will be unveiled at Dreamland in Margate on Sunday. The mural appeared in February on the side of a house in the town called Valentine's Day Mascara. It's a commentary on domestic violence, and money raised by its sale will go to a domestic abuse charity. 3/4 of people in the southeast who act as carers for their loved ones are not receiving the financial or practical support they should. Many fail to claim benefits or respite care. So to mark the end of Carers Week, the charity Carers UK is urging people to get the help they're entitled to.
We know we're all in a cost of living crisis at the moment. You can't make a decision to switch off an oxygen machine if someone is dependent upon it. So then do you switch the heating off, or do you go without a meal yourself? And if you're accessing the right kind of financial support that you're entitled to by recognising that you're a carer, that will make a big difference to you as an individual.
Now, it's a beautiful day for the start of the South of England show, but the outlook is bleak, say farmers, as they struggle to deal with rising costs. Almost 90% of farmers say they've been negatively impacted by the rising costs of energy, fuel and fertiliser. Feed costs have gone up by more than 70%, and since 2019 the wholesale gas price has gone up by 650%. Our environment correspondent Yvette Austin is live at the South of England showground. That's in Ardingly near Haywards Heath. Yvette, it's been a very tough period for farmers, we know, but also a tough period for consumers.
It is, and the weather must be giving the organisers of the show some relief as they're building the show back from the pandemic. But of course, we are amid this cost of living crisis. So with me is Charlie Burgoyne, who is the chair of the South of England Agricultural Society and a dairy farmer too. So Charlie, to start with, this is good, isn't it, this weather?
Well, firstly, Yvette, thank you for coming. Thank you to the BBC. You do us all credit and you help so much. But yes, the weather is, and always does, play an enormous role. And not only we have 3 beautiful days, but we've had a week to set the place up without making an awful mess of it as well. So it's been quite fantastic, yeah.
So how difficult is it for you at the moment?
Here at the showground?
Well, as a farmer.
As a farmer, things are easing and improving again now, but and as was well reported on television, our costs rose on farm by some 40% in a very short period of time. Fuel, fertiliser, labour, agrochemicals, everything, feed costs, and they're now settling back as we can see everywhere else. So improving, but it's definitely had a roll-on effect to shows and attendances of people and things like that. Because as everyone knows, mortgage rates are increasing and still are, and people are struggling.
Yeah, and getting the visitors in, are you back to where you want to be?
We made the decision in COVID to go forward with a smaller show, to cut our cloth accordingly and to cut back the cost of putting this operation on so that we could make a small profit, and that's where we are now. This year we spent a bit more money than last, and hopefully that will have an effect. But
Charlie, I'm going to have to stop you there because time is running out, but there's 2 more great days of the show left, uplifting occasion in the difficult times.
We'll hear more from you later, Yvette. Thank you for now, though. What a beautiful day down there at Ardingly, and it's set fair for the weekend. Fabulous, eh, Nina? It's looking hot.
It is going to be much hotter, increasingly humid as well as those temperatures climb over by day and also by night. Now, most of us will stay dry and sunny, but there is this potential for some thunderstorms. The greatest risk of thunderstorms will be to the north and west of us, and some places are covered by a Met Office yellow warning. But you can see the location of that warning, not everywhere, and that really gives you an indication of where we're more likely to see some showers. They're very difficult to forecast. Through the afternoon, though, it is staying dry. Still quite windy out there, but across parts of East Kent, a much warmer day with the sunshine here, and elsewhere inland, again, it's warmer with temperatures creeping up into the mid-20s. Overnight tonight, it stays dry with clear skies for most places. Temperatures will be higher than recent nights. Most of us will stay in double figures. We've got lows of around 12 to 13 degrees. So the majority of Saturday is going to be dry, long spells of sunshine, very high pollen levels, and those temperatures much higher than they have been. It's into the afternoon where we pick up the potential for those very isolated, very localised but torrential downpours. But for the majority, we're looking at temperatures into the mid to high 20s. Another day on Sunday where we've got the potential for some showers. Most will stay dry, hot and sunny, and that heat will last into Monday as well. Ellie.
Thank you, Nina. And of course, not everybody loves the heat, so do take care in those hot temperatures. I am back at 6:30 in the southeast today. And tonight, he returned home to a hero's welcome in Canterbury early this month after becoming the first ever double amputee to reach the summit of the world's tallest mountain. We'll speak live to Army veteran Harry Budamaga to find out how it feels to have conquered Everest. Join me then. Bye-bye.